Hey, how's it going, collective? So I am back. So yes, I have a few things I want to discuss with you. Again, I look like Roku. Bear with it, okay? I'm still recovering at the moment. My immune system took a hit. But I am well, alive and kicking. Okay, despite the wishes of some, I am very much still alive and kicking and doing well. Okay, so I just want to put that out there. So yeah, there's a few things I wanted to discuss with you guys. But I'm going to keep these messages quite brief. But what we're witnessing right now is the restoration of the karmic balance. Okay, the universe is definitely been working overtime behind the scenes to try and restore balance. As I always say, the universe literally treats things as like a maths equation, right? It likes to solve the puzzle when things remain imbalanced, when there isn't a clear answer. It doesn't like that, it likes to balance things out. So that's what I feel like is happening here, right? There's a lot of quantum computing taking place behind the scenes in terms of what the universe is doing. As for the divine, they're bringing the hammer down left, right, and center, because the divine are very merciful, they're very lenient, okay? Including your guides, your ancestors, okay? Your spirit team, the ascended masters, archangels, right? All of the divine source itself, very lenient, very merciful, very understanding, okay? They give people the opportunity to right their wrongs, to course correct, to learn them from their mistakes, okay? But there is a time limit. If people consistently demonstrate to the universe and the divine they are unwilling to learn from their mistakes, they're unwilling to make the necessary changes, they're unwilling to surrender the toxic part of themselves that keeps falling into those habits and causing destruction, not only in their own lives, but in the lives of others, then it does reach a time where the divine has to, mobilize, okay, and has to issue out karma, issue out divine punishment, okay, divine intervention. And that's what we're seeing now on a monumental scale, because there has been so many injustices taking place for so long, for so many people that are undeserving of it. It's now reached a point, a critical point, where there is so much disruption and imbalance that it's actually having a detrimental impact, not only on the earth, not only in terms of the frequency of the planet, but it's also resonating out into the greater cosmos, to the point now where the divine is literally mobilizing its forces to just take out the energy. So if that energy is attached to situations, people, environments, it's gonna wipe it clean, okay? Like literally wipe it out. That's why we see so many cases of people dying in mysterious ways, committing suicide, all of these kinds of crazy events that are taking place, shocking events, right? People malfunction in ways that, it's hard to comprehend. I'll give you an example. I'm not going to say my location, but where I'm at currently, there was a stabbing and a suicide within a few hours of each other, and it was literally about 10 minutes down the road from where I'm staying, and that was yesterday, okay? So it's bad, it's really bad out here now in the world, right? A lot is happening. A lot of people are malfunctioning. A lot of these karmics especially are now malfunctioning, because all of that energy they were putting out towards the collective is boomeranging back around all at once, all with great force. So all of that energy was accumulating, right? And because it wasn't hitting them in the way that, people would maybe expect, they thought they were getting away with it, but it wasn't the case at all. All of that energy was accumulating and building, and as it was being sent in various directions, a lot of these things were actually being blocked by your guides, by your spirit team. So it didn't actually hit you. Even if you were affected, say you got a little bit of a cold like I have, or something like that, or maybe you lost a 10-pound note or something like that, it's minimal compared to what was actually being sent to you, right? But all of that energy still exists. It's still out there. Energy doesn't dissipate. It only transmutes, transforms. And so as that energy was accumulating and couldn't go to its intended target, guess what? It boomerangs back around, and now it's hitting these people with full intensity, full force, all at once. So these people are experiencing massive tower moments. That's why these readings are getting extremely heavy again, because of the karma that has been accrued and that is now being dished out. I mean, some of the cards that I've even pulled, you know, off camera, I've never seen anything like it. Like those combinations, especially from the Angelarian deck, which I absolutely love, because it's a really nice way for me to just tap into the current energies and stance that the angels are currently taking, right? It's just a very easy way for me to get that communication from them without having to really sit with it for too long, because as I say, it is very energy consuming whenever I read, whenever I channel, whenever I connect, right? It can be very energy consuming, especially at a time where, you know, a lot of my energy has been spent not only on protecting myself and those closest to me, but also trying to help you guys, right? And so with the messages that I've been getting, it's insane. It's really, really intense. I won't lie to you, there were a couple of times, especially last year, when I started getting those messages, that I was really uncomfortable. Like, it was scary for me, because as much as I know that these people are deserving of it because of what they've done and the things they were trying to do, it's still not pleasant. That's still not an energy that I want to be around, right, or witness. But it really is just a sign of the times we're in, and I can see why so many people who are of a more religious persuasion see these times as like the end times, because essentially that's the energy, right? That's literally the direction we were going in. The trajectory we were on was that of the planet falling into infernal energy, right? Across the board. That's what was happening. And I feel like it really did just confirm what I was witnessing in the astral when I went on this journey with a very good friend of mine who's a shaman. We went on a joint mission together. When was it? 2020. Was it 2020? I believe it was 2020. And that's when I saw, you know, the legions, right? The infernal forces. They were gathering armies, like beyond what you can even see. It just stretched beyond what you could see with the naked eye. And bearing in mind, I'm seeing it with my third eye, not the naked eye. And I could see then how things had shifted, why things had changed, you know, and how even, you know, the devil himself, his energy had changed, because there's a new head honcho in town. A lot of people are not talking about that because a lot of people don't know this, right? But there has been an exchange of power, okay, when it comes to the throne, okay? And so that transition has been taking place over the last couple of years. That's why we're seeing this change. I mean, there's a lot that I can go into with that, because you'll understand how this pertains to what's happening on a 3D level, and why we're witnessing the kind of chaos, carnage and chaos that we have been, right? And it's because there's a certain someone that has risen to claim their seat on this plane, and someone else is governing the other. So there's that. But I feel like now, you know, it's time for everyone to really ensure that they have a very solid connection with their spirit team, okay? These are going to be made up, of course, with different various ancestors, different, you know, sort of familiar energies, okay, like spirit animals. Obviously, you have the ascended masters, the angels, and all the rest of it. But it's important to note that the enemy is also going to try and use not only passed on ancestors that were cursed, that perhaps do not want you to cleanse your energy, cleanse or break those curses, okay? That have fully sided with the enemy, because unfortunately some of us do have ancestors like that, okay? And then not only that, but they'll use living relatives, friends, families to attack you, to come up against you, okay? And many of us have experienced that in all forms, okay? So it's important to not only strengthen your connection with those who are for you, but it's also important that you strengthen your protection against those who are trying to come for you, okay? Because I'm telling you now, whilst, you know, a battle is being won, and that for a lot of us, you know, these people that have come against us are going to face divine judgment, are facing divine judgment, and are going to be held accountable, not only in the spiritual courts, but physical court. That doesn't mean the battle's over. Far from it, you know. The infernal forces want you to put your guard down, to think everything's fine, but that's not the case, okay? There are going to be other attacks. There are going to be other people brought in to try and knock you off kilter. So it's important that whilst you don't operate from fear, you just, you know, keep a balanced perspective and keep yourself grounded and protected. Because the war is never over. It's never over. But do you have to live in fear? No. You just have to be discerning. You just have to be wise. You have to move differently. You have to kind of move like the divine, essentially. As a divine being, you have to operate like the divine. So you have to be smart, you have to be wise, you have to be discerning, you have to listen to your intuition, you have to be open to the guidance you receive, even if it's not what you want to hear, even if you're getting the answer that isn't what you wanted, right? You have to take that on board, because it's literally going to help you. It's going to serve you in the long run, you know? So yeah, these are just some things that I just wanted to talk about and really just explain what is happening on a basic level. But essentially the universe is course correcting, okay? I do feel like many of us have witnessed the split in timelines, okay? Many of us do jump timelines continuously, but I feel like it's now crunching down once again into another singularity, okay? And again, that's part of the universe trying to solve the great maths problem, okay, that has occurred. I do feel like as well, the reason why we are seeing the fall of so many celebrities, especially those who are or have been initiated into these dark secret societies. There are a few, I'm not going to name their names, you guys will already know of them, because I just don't want to give them any more of a spotlight, okay? Not that, you know, my channel was that big or anything, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not giving them that energy. But you know, there's a few prominent people in music, in acting, in fashion, you know, who are more than just, you know, puppets of the devil, right? These are people who are literally initiated high priests and high priestesses in the entertainment industries, okay? And a lot of them are now experiencing a fall from grace, okay? Because the divine have decreed and willed it. And these people thought that as their leader, okay, because you've got to bear in mind, their God isn't source. It isn't, you know, they don't have a connection with their ancestors. They don't have a connection with the divine beings, gods and goddesses, okay? They don't, okay? They don't have a connection with the Most High, even source itself, okay? That which is the all. They don't have a connection with that. They reneged on their connection with source, okay? They denounced the Most High in order to favor Lucifer. That is their God, okay? But you got to understand, Lucifer is no longer reigning in hell. That's what I'm trying to say. Lucifer has risen to claim his throne on this earth. This material plane is his for the taking. And that's why there has been this huge clash, right? Because you've got to remember, as beautiful as this planet is, it is the matrix. It is the 3D prison, okay? You are here to learn your lessons, to clear your karma, so you can ascend, right? But it is a prison planet, essentially. Many great thought leaders, researchers, occult practitioners, mystics, and also religious leaders know of this, right? They've spoken about this, right? The 3D plane is the trap. So if you want to elevate, you need to elevate your consciousness beyond the trappings that come with that. And that's where a lot of people fall short, because they only focus on what they can obtain materially. Money, right? Status, fame, all that which feeds the ego. Again, that is coming from that reptilian brain way of thinking. That is a very base energy, okay? And bearing in mind, the reptilian brain It is a core part of the brain, but it's attached to the stem. It is like the building block, right? But when we're talking of higher consciousness, we're talking about the pineal glands. We're talking about the the very core, right, of who we are, of the mind. And even the prefrontal cortex, that makes up your personality. So that is essential as well, because it's also a part of the seat of the soul. And I don't feel like it's only that the seat of the soul is in the mind, in the brain, but it's also in the heart. It's also in the stomach, okay? The kundalini that rises and falls up and down the spine, that's pivotal as well. That's important as well. All of this is what connects the body to the spirit, okay? These are energy centers, and there's so much I can talk about this. I'm just trying to quickly collapse a lot of stuff into a short video because this is something that needs to be spoken of. But, I'd have to go into those things into another time, because otherwise, if I'm just jumping into little bits here and there, it might get confusing. But basically, there is a correlation between certain energy centers and points, specific points of the body that connect to the spirit. And they know this, and this is why they're trying to lower your frequencies. That's why they're trying to attack those energy centers through different means, okay? But what you need to know is that the people who you align yourself with is going to be very telling at this time. The energy that you walk in is going to be very telling. The music you listen to is going to be very telling, okay? What you absorb is going to be very telling. So if you want to maintain a high vibration, if you want to make sure that, whatever anyone says or does doesn't affect you, just bounces off you, then you want to make sure you're consuming that which is going to be nourishing on a heart level, on a soul level, rather than what's making you, feel like you're being consumed in some way. And so that's why I'm glad that a lot of people, not just in, the Christian communities, but also, in spiritual communities and, sort of truth teller communities, that sort of thing. They're talking about how a lot of these concerts are actually rituals. And this is something I've known for a long time. That's why I'm very, very selective with which artists, which bands I'll listen to, and also what concerts I'll go to. You'll never see me at some of these massive concerts, right? I'm very selective with what festivals, what concerts I'll go to, because I understand that a lot of these, big names, especially in popular music and R&B and rap and hip hop, they are actually holding full out rituals in front of thousands of people. And then people are wondering why there's people in the audience malfunctioning, seemingly possessed, overdosing or just dying without any sort of explanation, normal explanation for it, So you have to be very, very careful with what you're consuming, what you're watching, what you're spending your time and energy around, because it all has an impact, right? So that's the main thing I wanted to say. I know there's a lot in there and it just seems like it's coming out like all at once. But these are some main points I really wanted to hit home, just to let you know what time it is and where we're at. It doesn't mean that we should be upset, we should give up, that things are terrible. Absolutely not. As I said, things are shifting, okay? Even though, yes, a certain someone has risen to claim their throne. The divine is very much on the surface as well, best believe. They have also mobilized their forces too, And so really, the devil can only wreak havoc in your life as much as you allow them to, right? Yes, they will send their minions. Yes, they'll do the absolute most to just try and destroy you. But if you stand strong in your conviction, if you stand true to who you are, if you refuse to give up, if you refuse to bend to its will, you will ascend, you'll surpass it, okay? You will receive your birthright. You will experience happiness, joy, bliss, contentment, abundance, okay? I'll be honest with you though, those divine beings that are called, okay, the chosen few who are called to lead or to support, to heal, to guide, to nurture, to love, to be the truth. Yeah, the road is not so easy for us, and it was never going to be, you know. So if you want a peaceful, quiet life, I'm sorry, if you know you was chosen for this, for a lot of us, that's not how it's going to be. Yes, there'll be moments of peace, and of course we can be happy, but you have to know that you are put on the front lines for a reason, because you can, because you have what it takes to overcome. That's why many of us, we've been battling our entire lives, okay? We have experienced evil, the darkness in the world from a very early age, because it was preparation for what's to come. We needed to know the enemy intimately to be able to know how to combat those energies. And it's not by becoming like it, it's by being the opposite of it, the antithesis of what it is that they want you to be. That's the key, right? And so that's something I just wanted to quickly touch upon, because there is a lot happening. Like I said, I mean, gosh, I could do several videos on this stuff. There's so much that needs to be said. But I just wanted to touch on some of this stuff briefly for you guys and say hello, you know, because you guys never really get to see me. And I don't want you to think like, oh, I'm just hiding away and I don't want to show my face. No, I'm happy to show my face. Here I am. But it's just, yeah, the timing was a factor as well. And, you know, as I said, in my personal life, there were certain things going on behind the scenes where I had to be very smart and very patient with what I reveal and how I reveal it, okay? So now it's at a point where I can start to show up more and start communicating what's going on, because best believe there is several cases going on behind the scenes. So even though I haven't been contacted as of yet, as far as I know it's just a matter of time, you know, before all of this gets brought to the surface. And you know, there may even be some hearings involved, but all I know is this, that we are not losing, okay? Yes, we have lost some good people, unfortunately, in the fight. You know, there's always casualties in war, unfortunately. And it does break my heart. Like even the post I shared earlier about this young man who was killed by his deranged baby mama, you know, that I'll be honest with you, like I got teary-eyed watching that video, because it hurts me. It hurts me to see people being killed, harmed, you know, because of malfunctioning karmics. What hurts me even more is seeing the devastation they leave behind, how it affects their families. That's what breaks my heart the most, you know. And I know what it feels like to take those kind of losses, you know, because of evil people not wanting to accept that a situation is over, not wanting to accept that possibly some kind of abundance or legacy isn't theirs for the taking, and they feel entitled to it. I mean, there's been so much going on, like it's just crazy, you know, and I can relate and empathize in a lot of these situations. You wouldn't believe what I've experienced, but I will share my story in full with you guys one day. But the point I want to make is this, you know, don't give up. I know it's not easy. You know, a lot of us experience a lot of stuff. And, you know, there's more things coming to light that perhaps you didn't know that was going on in the background. I know that was the case for me, certainly. And I feel like the divine does it for a reason. Like if you were to know the full extent of certain situations in the moment, it could be really, really hard to absorb, right? So the divine gives it to you in stages. They know how much you can tolerate in one time, you know, so they give it to you in stages. And I certainly know that for me, that's the case, you know, because it is overwhelming. Even just everything that I've been finding out over the past couple of years, yeah, it's been a lot. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I've taken my hits, you know, on a health level. It has affected my health, you know, so I'm building my immunity up. Emotionally, yes, it's been very hard. You know, and I've been doing everything I can to keep my mental health good, keep my emotional health good, you know, because that's the thing. These people want to see us destroyed on every level. They want us to just be completely broken down and even taken out. So the best thing you can do is to take care of yourself, first and foremost. And when you do that, you can help others that are deserving of it. Yeah. But I want you to know that you guys are not alone, okay? I know what some of you guys have been going through. Some of you have shared your stories with me. Some of you have left some comments on certain videos that let me know that it does resonate for you. You know, I know that, you know, especially with some of my heavier readings when I first started this channel, I just couldn't believe, you know, the outpour from you guys and you just telling me your story, like your testament of what you've gone through. And it hurt me to know that you guys went through some of those things, you know. And I am so sorry you experienced that, but know that you're not alone, okay? And you are protected, okay? We are here for you. The divine is here for you. Your guides are here for you, okay? You are not alone. You are loved. You are cherished. You are needed. You're cared for, okay? Never let the enemy make you believe otherwise, okay? That's the main thing I want you to take from all of this, because things are shifting, okay? Balance is going to be restored. You are going to be blessed for your troubles. I can tell you that now. And I just want to say as well, for those of you who have been following me on this journey, who have supported the channel, you know, by liking the videos that you find interesting or relevant to you, by subscribing, your comments, sharing posts, sharing readings, reaching out to me, all of these things mean everything to me. Because for me, it's not about the clout, you know. Yes, I like for us to grow the channel together because I know there's more people that need to hear these messages, but I don't care about YouTube fame. I don't care about money, okay? The support I get from you guys shows that, you know, it is reaching those that need to hear it, and that's what matters to me. Even if there's a reading where it only reaches one person and it was exactly that person it needed to reach, then I've done my job. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for showing up and for letting me know that the message was received. So now, for now, I'm going to leave it there because this is already 27 minutes long. But I'll definitely tune in and check in with you guys again soon. So much love, and I'll speak to you later.